FSBO, FSBO, FSBO. If you're not in the real estate world, you might not know what FSBO means, and that's okay. FSBO is an acronym meaning for sale by owner, and it obviously describes when an owner sells their home without agent representation. There are pros and cons to this strategy, so let me explain some of them in a completely unbiased way. Just the facts, ma'am, from here on out. Let's start with the pros. The first and most obvious pro is the cost savings. When selling a home with an agent, you can typically expect to pay around 6% in commission here in the ATL, 3% to your listing agent, and 3% to the buyer's agent. But when you sell FSBO, you'll only be responsible for the buyer's side commission, assuming you're selling to someone who is represented by an agent. This can significantly reduce what you owe in commission at closing time. Another pro is that you'll have complete control over the sale. Essentially, the buck starts and stops with you. You'll be totally responsible for the listing price, what improvements you choose to make, who you show it to, and how you negotiate on your own behalf. Now, to be honest, for pros, that's a pretty short list. Most sellers just want to save money when selling on their own. The fact that they control every aspect of the process is typically viewed as a bonus at the start. Yay, I'm in charge, and no one's going to tell me what to do or how to do it or how much money to spend in the process. But not so much as the process unfolds. So let's talk about some FSBO cons. The first and most obvious con is a lack of pricing strategy. Because public access to market data is limited, homeowners have no clear way of knowing which homes are or are not selling. And because closing prices are not required to be publicly disclosed, there's no precise way to compare one home value to another. If you underprice your home, you could be losing more than the commissions you'd pay to a listing agent. If you overprice it, it just won't sell. And you'll have to figure out when to reduce and by how much. Another con is a lack of real estate knowledge. In any given transaction, there can be upwards of 200 plus steps in the process. And all along the way, there are legal terms, acronyms, and other terminology that can be very overwhelming, especially for inexperienced sellers. Escrow, contingencies, backup offers, title, you'll need to know it all. And if you miss an important step or forget to sign a legal document, it can cost you thousands. A third con is that buyer's agents won't really want to work with you because you're not a trained professional. Their job becomes immensely more difficult because they're relying on you to do 50% of the work. But if you have no idea what you're doing, they have to deal with this limitation and pick up the slack. All for the exact same pay, it's just not fair to them. And finally, my last con on this list is the complete control you'll have. I know I listed this as a pro earlier, but most sellers very shortly come to realize that it's actually a huge con. You are responsible for every single step of the process, and it takes a serious amount of time. Most people come to realize that the list of to-dos is dizzyingly long, and it can feel like a full-time job once you get into it, because it is. Real estate transactions deal with huge sums of money and can often be messy and complicated. I've been doing real estate for 4 years now, and I can promise you that selling your house is in fact a full-time job. And with the insane seller's market we're in right now, are you ready to handle 10 to 20 offers in your home? Where on earth would you start? Or would you just give up and call me with a giant plea for help? If you're up to the task, more power to you. That sounds so dated. Who wrote this script? How about instead, you the bomb, Sizzline? If it doesn't work out after 3 to 4 weeks, you can always fire yourself with a quick, "Bye Felicia, I'm hiring a real agent to do this for me." If you'd like help, message me here so we can chat about your home's value and how we can get you the most money with the least amount of work on your part. That's what we do, and that's why we're here. Thanks for watching.